Morning everyone, welcome back to another video. We are moving bales this morning. Tub grinder is going to be here pretty soon. We still have a little bit of straw left. There's just so much snow everywhere that we got to be ahead of the game because that takes time to clear. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm literally just bringing bales from probably 300 yards over there, moving them right beside where we are going to tub grind them. So just using the New Holland this morning. Had to start out by clearing a bunch of snow, and they are going to eventually be tub grinded in our barley silage pile there because we now have enough room to do it on the concrete, which is pretty nice. So yeah, the pile of bales is right there, and this is our current pile of tub grinded straw. You can see it's just shredded up into tinier particles. We do this because we feed this stuff to the cows, and this prevents the cows from sorting. Otherwise they're going to sort through all the straw, which doesn't taste as good as the grain. And it's very important that the cows eat a ration that is very balanced and that they don't sort and gouge themselves completely on the grain. So just bombing bales back and forth this morning. We're all done hauling the bales for this morning. We got 2 stacks of 50 bales each, and that is going to set us up for a long time once it's tub grinded. Won't have to do this for a hot minute. Fun fact, hauling bales back and forth around the yard like this was one of the first jobs I started doing when I was learning how to operate the wheel loader. It was with a different wheel loader. We used to have a Cat, and then the next wheel loader we got was the New Holland. So I learned how to drive a wheel loader in a different one, but definitely was a good time learning to do that. I must have been around 8 years old, and people said when they saw me driving around the yard and they were watching from behind, it looked like a ghost was driving the wheel loader because my head did not clear the backrest on the seat. And yeah, it just looked like no one was driving it, so pretty cool. We got a couple of pallets of supplies that are showing up to the farm this afternoon, so I just hopped in our skid steer and grabbed the pallet forks. The first pallet we're going to unload at the barn right behind the milk tank. Those are bags of copper sulfate, so we use that for our foot bath. And then the other 2 pallets we're going to be unloading by our feed mill, and those are bags of the palm fat, the bypass fat that we feed to the cows. Pallet number 1. Cool, we got our 2 pallets of Energizer unloaded here in the new hammer mill shed, and it is a tight squeeze because we've been storing one of our silage trucks in here, but it's a really convenient heated place to put that thing because we do occasionally use one of these throughout the winter to move a little bit of grain around the yard. A lot less now with this new feed mill setup, but we still need it sometimes, so keeping equipment in a heated shop out here in Saskatchewan, if you want to use it in the winter, is pretty much essential. Anyway, we got the 2 pallets in the new shed, and we got to move them now with our pallet jack and park them nicely on the side here. Got them all parked away nicely. Palm fat, the bypass fats, they have a very negative rap in the dairy industry, especially here in Canada, because we had some pretty negative news press within the last 2 years. Long story short, it is purely a byproduct that is exported out of Malaysia. Us dairy farmers buy it, we feed it to the cows, and they produce a lot more butter fat because of this stuff. So our dairy farm is actually able to produce a lot more cream and butter fat specifically because of this byproduct that would otherwise go completely to waste. It does not have a negative side effect on the cows. Our cows are producing good. Their body condition stays good. You know, there's no unhealthy thing for the cow. Everything within moderation, of course. If I fed the cows too much silage or too much barley grain or anything like that, it wouldn't be good for them either. You gotta be responsible, but this is a pretty cool tool that we've been using for a while now. Anyway, gonna park that skid steer and then we'll have some more stuff to do today, I'm sure. I got a low tire on my truck over there. It's nice to save money changing the tires yourself, but if you're not meticulous, it might start to leak on you a bit. It's the afternoon and we just unloaded 6 more bags of calf starter pallets. Me and Dad are actually gonna put these bags directly into a commodity bin that we have beside our calf barn. So we're just gonna haul them over there. I don't know why they came in bags instead of a semi, but we're just gonna dump these 6 bags directly into the bin. This is the pallet and what it looks like. You can see a bunch of different colors in there. Some corn, some beet pulp, some other stuff mixed in. We're in the corrals now. The last episode that you guys saw, I was in the corrals hacking away at the manure buildup behind the feed bunks in a couple of these corrals. I just piled it up on some convenient piles so that we could come in later with the case loader and haul them out. That's what we're doing right now. Dad's in the case loader, bombing back and forth, and we're just cleaning it out. He was pretty hasty to want to get it out today, and I think the reason for that is because he tried putting bedding in the corrals yesterday with the tractor and the hay buster, and it was pretty inconvenient having these piles in the corrals needing to go around them, so. Well, we started the day with an awesome sunrise, and now we're ending it with an awesome sunset. Can't get much better than this. It's been a pretty nice day, I'm not gonna lie. Around minus 15 degrees Celsius throughout the entire day. Probably dip down to minus 20 tonight, but there's almost 0 wind, so it doesn't actually feel that cold. Finished up in the corrals. We're putting bedding now in the back barn. You can see Dad and the loader over there. Pretty typical. Every 2 days now we're doing this pretty much. We like to, when it is warmer outside though, put more cows from the pack into the freestall barn, and then we can get away maybe every 3 days putting bedding in. It's pretty simple. The less cows you have on these packs, the less bedding you're going to be putting in there. Sand bedding in the freestall barn for us is free because we just dig it up on the other side of the field. Well, I guess technically there's wear and tear. We burn a bit of diesel, but it's cheap compared to buying straw today. So we always try to move the cows from the pack to the freestall barn as quickly as we can. That, however, is not always possible just because when it gets really cold outside, you know, minus 40 degrees Celsius, you gotta have enough cows in this barn to keep it warm. So that's the only thing that's kind of holding that back. Dad's in there shaking the bale out, sometimes takes a hot minute. And then I just come into the freestall barn over here, find a cow that's laying down in the bed, and then sit on her. It's kind of like a heated leather seat. Awesome, we finished putting the fresh straw bedding in the pack barn now, both sides. I cleaned the alley of the milking pack, the special needs pack. We do this once a day, and we do this once every 3 days or so, just because they crap so much less on this maternity pack. They're not producing milk, and that means they're eating a lot less food, so they're gonna be crapping less. We also went ahead and pushed up the feed. Usually that's the milker's job, but since we're back here with the skids here anyway, might as well help them out. Get them home a little bit earlier. They are almost done milking though. Those are the last 2 lines. Last thing that we're doing this evening at the end of milking is switching some cows from group 1 to group 2 and from group 2 to group 1. We're just doing this because these cows are going to be dried off pretty soon, and some cows from group 2 are slow milkers, so we like to put those in the first group. These are the ladies that sorted out over the course of milking, of course through the sort gate. So now we're going to move all the gates and get those ladies moved over. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. Check out the Instagram @SaskDutchKid, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.